What up, folks? Back around the time when I was going to Edison, Bill Cosby did a TV special. And he used to do a lot of little TV specials back then. This is before Fat Albert and Cosby Kids. This one was about Aesop's Fable. I can say this was a time of the good Bill Cosby. You know, the benevolent one that would never cheat on his wife, and he seemed to be looking out for kids and stuff. That new guy, I don't know who that is. I really don't know who that is. Anyhow, this was back in the day when, you know, people didn't have VCRs, so if you missed something on TV, you missed it. Unless you caught the rerun maybe a year or two later. And I think I caught this during a rerun. But one thing that stood out with me with this Aesop's Fable is that he had two black kids on it. And I'll never forget when I watched this particular special, the little girl on there, I thought she was the most beautiful girl in the world. I distinctly remember watching, you know, loving this particular episode or special because of the girl. Had I had a VCR, which they weren't around then, but had I had a VCR, I would have been watching it over and over and over because of this girl. I just thought she was just remarkable. In fact, I remember at the time wishing I could write her a letter. And you know, at that time, you know, I'm in 7th grade, I didn't have no resources to write that girl or anything, but hey, I'm a little 12-year-old boy, so you don't think rationally. That to me, the girl was just downright gorgeous to me. Now, keep in mind, this was during the same time that I was heavily in love with my quote-unquote future wife at Edison. And that's the girl I gave up my opportunity to go to Catholic school. I gave it up because of her. And this is somebody, you know, she went to McKinley Avenue Elementary. She only hung with those McKinley Avenue kids. And, you know, and I find out she was really into light-skinned guys anyway, but I didn't know that back then. I was just smitten with her. So since things wasn't, you know, looked like they were getting anywhere, I started marveling after this girl on the Cosby special. And at the time, I'm looking and thinking, man, she was just remarkable. So it wasn't that long ago, I decided to go look it up on YouTube to see what I was looking at. And I found it. And I look at the little girl and I'm like, damn, I feel like a pedophile looking at this little girl. I mean, were we ever that young? Well, anyhow, I kind of wonder whatever happened to her. What, did she end up acting after? Did she just, you know, she got the job because her parents worked for CBS or something like that? I'm really curious to know what happened to that girl. But like I said, at the time, that was the most gorgeous girl in the world during my Edison junior high days. The funny thing about back then, I used to suffer in silence. All 3 years that my future wife and me never talked, I used to just suffer about that. And the time that that little girl was on Aesop's Fable, I never told anybody. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, I never told anybody until now that it's on this YouTube video. So I guess that makes you guys special.